This is the Deity Pocket Wireless system, an under $200 wireless system that it's extremely easy to use and set up, extremely small and lightweight and easy to pack with you, and gives you the option to do things like this, where you're 150 feet away from the camera, but still getting good audio. Now Deity sent this to me, but they're not paying for this review. They don't get to see it. They don't have input into it before it's released. When it comes to on-camera audio, you have a couple of decisions to make. One, if you're going to do an on-camera mic like this, or if you want to do a small wireless system like this. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. The advantage of an on-camera system like what I'm using right now, the D3 Pro, is that you lose all of the variability of wireless, where you can lose the signal for a second if you walk between something and your receiver, or if there's a lot of interference in the area. Sometimes that can cause problems. But it also gives you a disadvantage of the fact that I'm about 2.5, maybe 3 feet away from the camera. I can't go much further than that. That is even a little bit far. Technically, the closer you get to the microphone, the better it's going to sound. So generally, I like to keep mine 18 inches to 2 feet at the most. I'm in a pretty quiet environment. There's not a lot of wind right at this moment. The biggest advantage of wireless audio is that you're now no longer tied to being as close to your camera as, 18 inches to maybe 3 feet. You can go pretty much any distance. Right now, about 25, maybe 30 feet away from the camera, but you always get really good, clean, consistent audio. Occasionally you can get dropouts, so that's the downside and the danger, but if you have a good system like the Deity Connect system, the Pocket system, then you're not going to worry really too much about it, especially if you're within 50 feet. The system so far in my testing has been rock solid. But there's another reason that I always travel with a small wireless system like this, and before the tide comes in and strands me on this rock, we're going to go to another spot. And I'll tell you why. I always have one with me every time I travel to anywhere. Now Deity says you can get up to 175 feet of range, which is probably right about what I'm at right now. I've got to be close to about 200 feet. A good clear line of sight, no other interference. The big reason I carry a little wireless system with me to places like this and everywhere I go in Alaska is weather. When you're operating in high winds, or when there's high winds, having a small wireless system like this with a lapel mic you can put under your jacket or your shirt basically eliminates all the wind noise that you could possibly have. The other reason is if I'm operating in not so great weather. It's a lot easier to keep my camera covered when I don't have a big shotgun mic on top. That makes a big difference for wireless audio. And another reason is if there's a lot of ambient noise. For example, if you're walking along the beach and there's a lot of waves going on, then it helps to isolate your voice, because the mic is so close to you. For example, I've got waves coming in, breaking on the beach here, and my voice is relatively isolated compared to this, which gives you a lot of other noise going on around you. And even an on-camera mic won't help eliminate that entirely. But this just helps to give you a lot cleaner, a lot more isolated sound. And the best thing is, it doesn't really matter how close or how far away from your camera you are, you get that same quality sound no matter what. There are a couple of reasons you might want to consider the Deity Pocket system over something like the Rode Wireless Go or the Rode Wireless Go 2. And one is certainly the price. At $169 for the base package, it's really a good deal and pretty much gives you everything you need to get going if you're going to use it on something like a DSLR or mirrorless camera, anything like that. And it's a great companion to small cameras because it's a small system that will clip into any hot shoe or cold shoe mount on the camera. Another thing I like about this system over the Rode Wireless Go, which I've used for a couple of years since it came out, is this has a locking 3.5mm connector when you plug it in. So when I plug in a lapel like I have now, I don't have to worry about it coming loose or popping out, which I have had happen when I was working with a client and I had to ask them to redo the thing we had just filmed, which is always a bummer, so I don't recommend doing that. And something that's really cool about this system is it comes with both a USB-C to 1/8 inch or 3.5mm headphone jack, but it also comes with a USB-C to USB-C, which means I can plug it directly into my laptop and use this as an audio input to record stuff straight to my laptop, which is really handy when I've been traveling, when I'm in a lot of different places and I need to record voiceover for videos that I've been working on. As far as battery life goes, you get about 5 hours, but the great thing is that it recharges in just a little over an hour completely, from basically almost nothing to full, which is great because sometimes I feel like devices take forever to recharge. Another reason I love this system over the Rode Wireless Go system that I've used for a few years is this gives you 10 steps of gain, so you can really fine tune how much audio you're sending to your camera as opposed to 3 steps of gain on the original Wireless Go. And my favorite part is that you can mute remotely from the receiver the transmitter, so if you need to pause it or you're not recording and you don't want any sound, then you can hit back there and mute it. And Deity's done a great job of giving you a really bright OLED screen on the receiver to give you all the information of what the battery level in both their transmitter and the receiver are, how strong the signal is between the two, and where your audio levels are coming in at, which is really handy if you're working with clients, conducting interviews or something like that, and you want to be able to fine tune everything from the camera and not have to mess with the belt pack and lapel once you've put it on somebody, or the lavalier mic, whatever you want to call it. It makes it really nice because you don't have to go back and forth to be tweaking and adjusting stuff. Another thing I like about this system is Deity's given us a good physical on and off switch. You slide it one way to turn it on, slide it the other way to turn it off, and it gives you a really good, easy visual indication of whether the system is on or off. Now, there are also lights that show you there's power on and the systems are linked, which is great. A couple of things to note is this doesn't have backup recording. It would have been nice if that had been in there, but also it probably would have cost a great deal more than $169. And this is a single unit system, so you can't pair a second transmitter to the receiver. But the great thing is the Deity has made this compatible with the other Deity wireless system out there, and so this will be part of your system if you buy this now and then upgrade to that later. And this is how easy this system is to set up. Take the transmitter, flip the switch to turn it on. You get ready to go like that because there is a mic built in here, but I prefer to use the lapel. It's already in my shirt. Plug that in, tighten it down, which I love the locking mechanism on my pocket. Receiver, same thing, power on, USB-C, plug the USB-C in, and the system's already ready to go. So I just gotta plug it in. And then you put the receiver on the camera and you're ready to go, ready to start recording audio. Literally the entire setup takes less than 40 seconds from taking it out of the case to having it on your camera, turned on, and recording. But my favorite thing about this system is that it's so small, so compact, and so easy to use that I can always have it with me in my camera bag regardless of where I go, and always know that I can get great audio regardless of the conditions I'm in, whether it's a beautiful day like this or it's windy, raining, snowing, whatever. I know I can always get great audio thanks to this tiny little wireless system. Now, if you want to know about other microphones that I use, click or tap right there. I put together a small playlist. I'll see you in one of those videos. As always, if you have questions, ask me in the comments below or join my live stream Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I have a 3-mile hike back through the woods. Hopefully no bears. I'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheers.